You know, in your liberty-loving Latinos opinion, the FBI is illegally obstructing a congressional investigation and is refusing to adhere to the Constitution, which gives Congress an oversight role over that agency. The FBI has admitted it is preventing Americans from seeing a document that allegedly shows an FBI investigation into a criminal influence peddling scheme launched by Barack Obama's VP, Joe Biden. According to House Oversight Chairman James Comer, the FBI acknowledged possessing the documents for the first time yesterday. The FBI also told Comer they will not be complying with a subpoena to hand over those documents. Shortly after the FBI's refusal, according to my next guest, the GOP voted to increase the flow of taxpayer dollars to that very same FBI, a corrupt Democrat organization that is illegally obstructing the GOP's investigation. Let's discuss with Tom Fitton, president of Judicial Watch and author of A Republic Under Assault. Tom, it's always great to see you. You know, FBI is clearly protecting Joe Biden here, and now the agency is reportedly leaking that the source for the document is Rudy Giuliani. The left is claiming that somehow discredits the investigation. By the way, Giuliani was right about Hunter Biden's laptop, while all of you folks on the left lied about it. Tom, how troubling is it that FBI that feels empowered to dictate to Congress, number one? And how troubling is it that the Republicans voted to increase funding to a clearly compromised agency?
Yeah, there's been no check put in place on the FBI, despite the Durham report, and despite all sorts of other evidence of misconduct by the agency and the Justice Department that it's a part of, to target Trump improperly while protecting improperly Hillary and, in this case, Joe and probably Hunter Biden, if past evidence sheds any light on this new document showing or alleging that Biden was involved with bribery involving a foreign national. And the document's there.
Right.
Grassley and Comer know it's there. Wray admitted it's there. Now, Wray has all sorts of reasons why the FBI want to turn this information over. None of it is, quote, legal, a legal basis to withhold it, contrary to a congressional subpoena. So the question is the Justice Department now, assuming that the House of Representatives votes Comey in contempt, Wray in contempt, Freudian slip there, will there be a Justice Department criminal prosecution of this case? And, we know where that's going to go. And I would ask, is Wray's position informed or based on the advice or with the approval of Garland? So the question for the House is, should they expand this contempt investigation? And I think there has to be an investigation, even separately from what the Justice Department might do with it, because the Justice Department may be conflicted here. Is Garland behind this as well? I can't imagine they've gotten into this fight with Congress without Garland being involved in it somehow.
No, I'm with you. And you know what? I don't know why DOJ or FBI would change their illegal behavior, because in response to their illegal behavior, the Republicans said, hey, let us give you some more money. They rewarded them. Now that Joe Biden has been implicated in international criminal bribery scheme, of course, the Democrat DOJ now is leaking on President Trump. Their latest quote unquote bombshell is an alleged audio tape that features Trump acknowledging that he held on to classified documents. Well, President Trump has said he did so, that he declassified them and held them. But doesn't the conduct of the DOJ further confirm that they're not impartial?
No, there have been leaks targeting Trump, and even when there's leaks that may, even when there's information that make Biden look bad, the leaks are designed to mitigate that. In the case of, Rudy Giuliani, you can't trust anything he put out there, even though, as you noted, he was first on the first in terms of highlighting this Biden-Ukraine Burisma corruption, and he's been abused for highlighting that ever since. This is I was thinking, Chris, this is kind of like the Durham report all over again. In Durham's report, he highlighted how they went full throttle against Trump while holding back and obstructing investigations into Hillary Clinton. It's happening again. They're going full throttle against President Trump with these investigations and leaks over a trivial or perfectly legal conduct by the president, while protecting Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and creating they're so desperate to protect Biden, they're putting Wray in potential criminal jeopardy and creating a constitutional crisis with Congress.
That is so astute of an observation for you, because you're absolutely right. It's just, and again, I go back to, why wouldn't the DOJ and the FBI keep on going back to this playbook, protecting Democrats, actual criminality, and manufacturing Republican criminality? Because the Republicans trip all over themselves to give our money to them, no matter what they do. Last thing I'm going to talk to you about is January 6th. Speaker McCarthy is reportedly releasing more footage from that day. But once again, he's only going to be sharing it with two hand-picked journalists. And I should say that they're really good journalists. They're trustworthy journalists, which, makes them the exception and not the rule. But that said, doesn't that tape belong to the taxpayers? And shouldn't we all be able to see it and evaluate it?
Certainly. And Judicial Watch is in court right now trying to vindicate that very principle. We filed a right to know request. The public has a right to access to government information, and this includes the January 6th tapes. And if I were McCarthy, I would just release these documents as you would under FOIA. Apply the same principles. There might be material they're able to withhold, right, as they do under FOIA, but just generally release the tapes and just get the process going so everyone can have access to them. This is the most important day, we're told, in American history, right? But we don't have the tapes about what happened there that's easily accessible to the public. There's a disconnect that needs to be addressed.
God bless Judicial Watch. Tom Fitton, sir, thank you very much for your time and your efforts, as always.